Sigamanis should be here, not doing commercials. He wouldn't be standing there like those two guys. I know everybody, 2 shots, 2 goals. What's the matter with Reimer? Watch the first goal, 2 guys on him. You cannot play in the National Hockey League and expect to win. You think you're going to win the Stanley Cup or make the playoffs playing like this? Now watch, goes back, 2 guys on the same guy. Look, and they put it in, and everybody blames Reimer. Absolutely ridiculous. You got to take those guys. Now, I have done 1,500 shows, and my ones I've done bad on or I haven't been right on, I can count them on the hand. But last week, first Coach's Corner, I got to admit I was wrong on a lot of things. I put 3 enforcers, tough guys, my type of guys, I threw them under the bus, and I'm sorry about it. I really am. We had 3 good guys. We have Jim Thompson, an enforcer. He went out and did his job. Had a little tough time after. 100% right now. Stu Grimson, they call him the Grim Reaper, 6'5", 12 years as an enforcer in Tennessee, coaching Pee-wee hockey, doing good. My buddy Chris Nyland, I tell you, boy, that's a Boston Strong boy. I've known him for 20 years. We used to be the best of friends. And he's got a great thing going for him now. I'll tell you right now, he's on the radio in Montreal. He's got a clothing line. He's got Chris Knuckles Nyland clothing line. He had a little problem too. Jim and Chris have turned it around 100%. Now, let's get it right. Chris and Stu never said that they took drugs because they were enforcers in the National Hockey League. Also, they never said that they want fighting out of the game. That's for sure. I was wrong on that, 100% wrong. And when you're wrong, you have to admit it. These guys are good guys, my type of guys. I was wrong on some of the things and saying that, and I've got it, and that's the best I can do. They're 3 good guys, especially Chris Nyland, who was my friend all that time, the Boston Strong boy. He was a smaller guy, and he used to fight all comers like Ty, a small guy with big heart. And I'm sorry that I put them down. I can't do any more than that. And if you're wrong, you've got to admit it.
And I was no help to you, so I'll say that much.
What do you
support? Well, I didn't know, and I didn't help you.
But I didn't know. Now, I want to talk about Aaron Ashton, okay? Now, how many times have I had Aaron Ashton on this show? He gets 2 goals. He gets a hit. He's one of my favorites. I meet him in the halls and everything. I think the world of him. But he did something the other night that I was very, very disappointed in. Now watch what he does here. Now as he gets the elbow pad off, like I've always told him to get it off, watch, boom, boom. He gets Jay Deagle, he gets it. Now this is very bad, come back to me. You know how I hate stuff like that. Brashear, remember he did that with Marty, caused all the things. Now, if I'm going to give Brashear heck, I've got to give him heck.
You gave it to Ty.
Yeah, and I give it to Ty. Ty giving it with the belt. You do not do things like that, but I have to admit one thing. Watch what he does after a class act. Go ahead, Aaron.
You know, it's unfortunate the way the fight ended. Obviously, you know, I obviously want to win, but I don't want to go out there and hurt anyone. And you know, my gestures after it was done, I was into the game. It was uncalled for, classless on my part, and I think those guys over there know that I'm not that kind of guy to be going off. But so it was a big game. I wanted to get my bench going and classless move on my part.
And I'm proud of you. Let me tell you something. It's pretty tough for him to go in front of the TV, and it's pretty tough in front of 2 million people to admit you're wrong. Aaron, you have to have a lot of guts and character to admit when you're wrong and when you have 2 million people watching you. Anyhow, that's pretty good, Aaron. I still will put you on. You're one of my favorites. Now, go ahead.
Well, Jay Beagle's birthday tomorrow, too. We wish him a happy birthday, and he's doing okay. And not the icings. This is tough, too.
No, this is tough. Hold it now. There's one guy, this kid is starting out, Taylor, isn't it?
Yeah,
Fedun, yeah, good kid. Just starting out his career. I hope it's not over. He's out for the season. Watch this here. Look at that. Touches the Nystrom. I don't know if he meant to touch him or not. But there he is, a broken leg. He's out for the year. His career might be over before it even begun. But the one that reminds me the most of, and in the same corner, is Curtis Foster. Now watch this here one with Curtis Foster. And don't mention the guy's name that did it. because you like the guy. This guy, Curtis, believe it or not, had a rod. He was the top 5 defenseman in the league at the time. He was a top 5, second in plus. He was having a terrific year. He almost died, and I read a long story on him. After that, they took him, they operated on him, almost died on the operating table. And the sad thing about the whole deal is they just took a wire out of that injury, which was about 4 years ago. 4 years ago, wasn't it? About a long time ago. They just took a wire out, and he's been sent down to the minors. Brendan, you're a fine breath of a lad. Listen, these guys don't deserve that. Let's do something about it.
Don Cherry in the Coach's Corner on Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
Coach's Corner on CBC.